So here we are. Before this last break, we covered basically the rhythm section of this song, Blazing Star. And that's where I want to pick up on this one and dive right in. As you can see, we have two different rhythm guitar portions. We have the first half of the song and the second half of the song. I'm guessing it's because this second half of the song is based on, was it the end of the whole Doomstar
the end
Requiem?
of the Doomstar Requiem. There's a whole sequence that I thought this is going to be the second half of this single. So what I'm doing when I put this song together is that I wanted to have a single, a Death Clock single in this whole project and this whole record, because it's the rest of the record is a rock opera with characters singing in many different styles of music, and some very real show tune style moments, some real kind of like ridiculous 70s singer-songwriter-y, kind of like 10cc-ish kind of meets I don't know what.
Yeah, Michael Jackson-y thing.
What's that?
Michael Jackson.
Some Michael Jackson kind of moments, some stuff that's very inspired by Wanna Be Starting Something and Thriller, and lots of different stuff. And again, just kind of, rock opera style moments, and then just musical. So there was nothing like this except for the last part. So I wanted to kind of put this song together and make it feel like one full thing and end big, just like the show ends big. And I wanted people to listen to the whole record and then listen to this song that kind of recaps what we just saw and reminds you of what you saw and is a song about what you just saw and comments on it in some way, and then finishes in a big cool way with an orchestra, with a band, with everything. So that's where we are.
And that's why you see two distinct rhythm guitar tracks.
From two different sessions.
From two different sessions, because this one was literally played on the other song and flown into this one. Mm-hmm. The drums were played through, and I think the bass was played through, but we used this section of the bass actually on the other song, perhaps? Is that what I don't remember.
I think that's all Beller. I think Beller got a copy of this whole thing and then
No, I know we played bass on this, but I think that
I must have put a different bass
we used
on that earlier
the
second.
Beller bass on the other song, because the other song was this piece of music.
That may very well be.
Yeah, I think so.
That would make sense.
But whatever that may be, this is what's happening here. So you can see that these guitars were not recorded at the same time, and they had to be EQ'd just slightly differently. This is the top track, and this is this one here.
I could very well have used two different amps. I could
Different
very well have
guitars,
used like a clean amp and a distortion pedal, which sometimes I'll do. But I think, whatever, yeah. So you had to make sure that they had a similar EQ.
That the end result would sound similar, if not the same, and which means that the EQ possibly would be different. And we can see that it is a little bit to accommodate whatever difference it was. We ended up changing the low end a little bit. The low, the low frequency and the low mids had just a little tweak to even things out. The idea being that you wouldn't be able to tell that the guitar changes right there. Mm-hmm. And
not the first time we've done that before.
Not the first time. On purpose or an accident, whatever it may be.
Always an accident. But yes, not the first time.
But so moving on into the mix now, the rhythm section is kind of established, and we've worked our way around at least one vocal a little bit. Let's see what some of these lead guitars sound like. You can see some decisions were made that we don't need too much lead guitar in the beginning, because I think probably because we wanted the orchestra to take that space a little bit.
Yeah, I think we put more guitar, one guitar, less orchestra. The second one, we swapped positions when there's the opening kind of stop time piece features more of the band. The second one features more of the orchestra. The third one blends them together a little bit more, and then slowly punches in a new guitar harmony with Squiskar and Toki when they're standing in the stars playing guitar together, united at last. But yeah, you want to hear some of this stuff? I mean, I've got some stuff that I faded in. I had a cool idea, but some of it you have to favor some ideas over others. But I think I have some.
There's some fading
Yeah,
guitars
let's go
right
on
here.
that first verse with the vocal. I think I've got, and wherever that is.
This thing here.
Maybe. It's over that kind of staccato-y, like
This thing, yeah. I was just going to play this this lead guitar real quick and see what this sounds like. Bone dry.
Yeah.
We were fading that in. You can see there's the
So
fading
that goes,
curve.
yeah, so there's a little bit of that happening over the first verse when Nathan is singing. And
But I had to compress and EQ that thing a little bit. So
Yeah.
looking at that, we have, we actually probably triple compress this thing because compression's fun. It's your friend if you do it with, with some kind of plan, I guess. So as you can see, I use the same plug-in a lot, not because I'm lazy, but because I like it.
you don't have to be so defensive. Everyone's on your side.
Fine. And so, it's better for several compressors to do a little bit of lifting than for one compressor to do too much work. And let's see what this thing does, what it sounds like. It's hard to operate on a small screen here, but we'll stay with it.
I'm looking up, yeah.
Bone dry, but you can see it's a little more evened out. It's got a little more bite to it. It's there's no real dynamic fluctuation anymore because it's fighting against the rhythm guitars and the vocals in there already. And but we have some effects on there. Using that same spreader again to fatten it up just a little bit. This is probably a delay, stereo delay. And that would be, your delay. We have a phaser on here as well, but that's probably for a section that is elsewhere. That we phased a section somewhere, didn't we?
Yeah,
right
probably.
there, right here towards the end.
Okay.
This
Can we
is
listen to that track with the guitar really quickly?
Yes.
Just see how it sits.
That's what we're gonna do.
It's a lot of stuff, but I mean, the way I think of it is, even if I have, because those rhythm guitars are identical, being panned hard left and right, and then I have this thing on top of it. So the way I think about, if I try to think, how would a band play this live as it's kind of being arranged? And I think, well, one guy can probably be doing the kind of that arpeggiated thing, versus somebody who's doing that double stop kind of slidey thing. And just to go back. To the very beginning, when I first started playing power chords, then I kind of arranged them into a different thing. Then I started talking about arpeggiating that thing and turning it into a more kind of personalized riff. I think this riff probably started a very similar way, where I'm just going, probably banging out chords and then slowly finding something that makes it a little bit more personal and a little bit more kind of punchy and pushing little moments inside and making more of a riff out of it than just banging away on chords, and then two different parts of the guitar's frequencies are used, the lower end and the high end, that I don't really get to hear that often. So every once in a while, I like to think, what haven't I done in Death Clock? Well, I haven't done some cool slidey, kind of like almost the Edge style stuff underneath anything. So why not try that at least once? So that's an example of just arranging and trying to do something a little bit different, and trying to, again, personalize and make something not sound generic. So So moving on.
Moving on, as you can tell in there, this track is like going up against the vocal, if you will.
Right.
Like it's sitting kind of in the same territory, and like the same kind of frequencies that make the vocal sound exciting make this sound exciting. So let's see why we ended up with these frequencies that we ended up with, because we boosted some of these here. See some upper and some mids and some high end got boosted. Let's see what I actually ended up boosting.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys heard that a lot in there, but I was just moving that frequency knob around a little bit, and you could see it, like some of it made it easier to hear that part, and some frequencies made it less so, and it's really just a matter of sitting there and deciding what works for that part. And
yeah.
You may have to either automate it for a different section or just parse it out for like a different section to just have a different plugin and a different approach to it. And so we do that with all these little bits. You see all these little green guys. They're all lead guitar bits somewhere, and some have been turned off because
some are turned off, some aren't used. I think I may have tried to harmonize. So the second, so let's call that the verse. The the pre-chorus or the bridge is again a contradiction. If you remember me talking about the original piece of music that I was recording that isn't this song but was just an idea. I contradicted the section that was going so I'll do that. So the next section had to rhythmically contradict that, just to use the same songwriting philosophy. So let's go to that, and this is where I guess Pickles is singing, and we have some background vocals that we have to kind of make sense of.
All right.
And we have taken out all that slidey guitar, so we have a little bit more open space. So we're again contradicting the amount of sound that you're hearing from the previous section.
Let's hear that for a
hear
minute.
it. So hopefully, rhythmically, if your drums change and your guitar riff changes, and the song advances forward, you will bob your head just a little bit. Like that's kind of the idea, is that you'll notice that difference, and then as humans, we react to that change. So I have a bunch of background vocals we can.
There's a lot of background vocals.
Yeah.
We can solo them for a second. Not all of them individually, but just as a group. These ones I decided to, all these guys right here, you can see they're assigned to bus 23.
Right.
So far I haven't been doing any subgrouping. I've had very little effects on anything.
Right.
A little bit of reverb on the vocal and maybe on the snare too. But and here we are with these background vocals subgrouped into this bus right here, and as you can see, I'm auto-tuning them and I'm compressing them individually, and then I EQ them and probably compress them again with my favorite plugin. I'm not even getting paid for that.
You should be making money off this.
And
somebody pay him.
Yeah. And we EQ and compress it collectively as a group, because it is a choir at that point,
Just to recap, you've sectioned them all, you've basically grouped them all, and you have them in a stereo track.
Well, I bust them to a stereo track.
You bust them to a stereo track.
I auto-tune them individually, and not like a severe auto-tuning. It's more like a chromatic setting, I'm sure here. Yeah, so it's a chromatic scale, and it just rides it a little bit. It just brings it ever so, because
they'll still be kind of naturally out of tune as I was when I recorded it.
Yeah, just a little less so. They're just a little closer to the key center, to the pitch. And so I have a pretty gentle setting. There's no T-pain kind of stuff going on here.
Right.
Kind of a medium speed setting. It's pretty, kind of halfway human. Yeah. Well, that's humanized. What do you want me to do about it? And then you know, kind of somewhere between relaxed and choosy. It's just a setting that seems to work for this track, and you just got to dial it in and make sure you're not getting too far out. Yeah,
trying to sing a song.
Yeah,
right.
And so all of them together end up sounding like this.
Works or it doesn't, but it sounds fine in the track.
It sounds great in the track. It's almost more like a keyboard sound at this point.
Yeah, I've done that before, and I do that in a couple of different places on this Doomstar Requiem thing too.
What happened? Where did my track go? All right, fair enough.
And it's kind of quiet in the mix too, if you hear it. But it's can we hear it in the mix now, please?
Yes.
So you'll hear another trick that you and I use often is the lead vocal is doing you can actually measure out the tempo in your delay, and the last part of his line is echoing into the open space. Mm-hmm. So that's just an arranging trick as much as it is a mixing trick. But you can, if you listen to that again, the melodic vocal, and sometimes we print those, and sometimes it's just the delay throw, right?
Yeah. Let's see what we did here. This must be this guy. So send 4. This is the delay throw. It's a little trick. Instead of having this giant delay going on
throughout the whole thing
and just washing over everything, you just put it on the last bit, and you can see this as the throw in the last held out note, and that's your the delay that carries over the gap, but then disappears as it dies out before the vocal starts over again.
There you go.
That's the delay we're talking about right there.
So that's a delay, and we've done it on a few songs, and it seems to work here and there.
It's a nice trick.
It's nice to do it, and it's nice to back off and not do it. So that's the only place where it happens in this song. And I think there were a couple places where we did it on Death Album 3. Peach God was one of them, I believe, and then another one was Sky Hunter, where we had a couple select throws. Where I remember you probably anticipated that I'd want some of them, and you put them in a lot of places. And I said, okay, let's just put it in this one place.
Yeah. So you can overdo it, and some songs really call for it.
Yeah.
And other songs, there's no room for it at all. It just depends on the phrasing and stuff, and the gaps created.
By the way, there's another trick that I'll use often in music and just songwriting. When in doubt, use something that works. Use a Beatles trick, and in this case, I did. So I think in this case, at this point, I'm in C. This is a standard tune guitar, but I go to the 4 chord, which is the F. So it's 4, 4 minor, 1. It's in Go Into the Water. It's in lots of different places, but it's an old Beatles trick. And when in doubt, you can kind of reharmonize that and make people not think it's a Beatles trick, because in some cases, I think again, putting the 3rd in the bottom, I think so that's on Going to the Water.
Sure, yeah.
4 to 4 minor. It's a classic trick, There's a reason those songs sound cool, because those chords sound cool. And so again, if you like a chord progression in a song, learn it, try to rework it, try to make it your own, try to find a way to make it different. But in this case, that's a 4 to 4 minor. It's in lots of songs.